Hi everyone, so today I am making a card that I saw Mixed Up Crafts make, and I think she called it a triple point diamond card, and I really liked it. I thought it was really nice, really easy to do, but really effective. I have made one this way around as well, which I actually really like. I don't know if I like it more or not. I think I like both ways, to be honest with you. But anyway, so yeah, so this is the card. This one I've used the Winter Wonderland papers from Dovecraft, the Dovecraft Premium. You will have seen them in my craft haul video. If not, go and check out the craft haul video. But yeah, I just really like them, and I've teamed it up because it's actually navy and white and like a silvery grey, but I've teamed it up with a bit of pink. I thought I may as well go blue and pink. So that's the card I've made for that one. So today I'm going to be using one of the other pads. I'm going to be using the Arctic Christmas pad, which is the Paper Addicts pad. And it's really nice. Again, go and check out the craft haul video, and I'll take you through all the different papers that are in it. So that's the one we're going to be using today. I love these colours. I just love them. That peachy colour with the blue, oh, so nice. So absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, right, so what we're going to need for this card is you're going to need a piece of card that is 12 inches by 6 inches. Now I've actually used one of the ones out of the pack, and because of that I've actually cut myself a separate piece, because on this original one it was just a plain navy cardstock that I used. So obviously both sides were navy, but with this one that I'm doing today, I'm actually you know, I've got this polar bear, and I do want to have this kind of grey colour on this side and this side. So what I've done is I've just cut myself out a piece of card which will go on the bottom of my card like that. The top bit doesn't matter, you'll see in a minute why it doesn't matter, but the bottom bit I did need it to be grey. So that's just, if you've got pattern card like I have here, then obviously you just want to cut an extra piece. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay, so on this piece of card you're literally going to score it in half at 6 inches. Okay, so we're just going to score this along the long edge at 6 inches like that. Okay, and that's all the scoring you need to do. So next what you want to do is just fold that in half to make your 10th fold card blank like that. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that my polar bears are the right way up. So there they are. Now obviously, as I said, I am covering this bottom section up, but I wanted them to be the right way up because then this bit here that you will see, at least they are the right way up. So the front of your card, so that's this bit for me. Yep, the front of your card. You're going to take off 2 inches. So hang on, let me hold this around. Sorry, keep turning it around. So there's my folded edge. So the cut edge at the bottom, you're going to take off the bottom 2 inches. So you end up with that. So you're literally just taking the bottom 2 inches off of the front of your card. Okay, so that's that, and you're left with this piece. Don't throw this piece away. You now need to cut this up into 2-inch squares. So cut it 2 inches and at 4 inches. So you end up with 3 squares that are 2 by 2. So that gives me 3 little squares that are 2 inches by 2 inches. Now, little note, you do really need to use quite a sturdy card. This is only 200 GSM, which probably wouldn't be enough. However, because for my mat, I've chosen to use this gorgeous Dovecraft rose gold glitter card. This is quite thick. So once I've added that onto my little square here, and then added the pattern on top, that makes that quite sturdy. So I'm not too worried. So as long as you've got a good sturdy, you know, mat lay or whatever, but you just don't want to go too flimsy with this because it's going to be on its angle and those points will bend if they're too flimsy. Right, so now once we've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that piece that I just had, the extra square, and I'm just going to put that here. Now obviously if you're using a double-sided coloured card, you can skip this part, okay, but obviously I'm not, so that's why I'm going to do it. So I've got a grey piece here, and this is just going to go in here, and I've cut it so it's ever so slightly smaller, just so that I would avoid the crease at the top there. It also means that this back section is a bit more weighty because this card, as I said, because this card is only 200 GSM, it's a bit too flimsy for a card base really, unless you're adding mats and layers, in which case you can get away with it. So I'm going to go ahead now and just stick this bit down. Okay, so once you've stuck that down, Then what you want to do is you're going to take yourself a matte piece, and this needs to be 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and that's going to go inside there just as a matte piece. And on top of that, you're going to put a pattern piece that is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Make sure that your pattern piece is something pale, like this one is, that you can write on, because you're going to be writing your message on this. So just make sure that it's a pale pattern paper. Okay, right, so I'm going to go ahead and stick these down. Okay, so you've stuck down your inside, which is fine, and now we're going to concentrate on the front of your card. So for the front, you're going to need, excuse my arms getting in the way, I'm just going to get rid of all my little bits and bobs that I've got here. You're going to need a piece of matte that is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, so that's going to go on this front section here, and you're going to need a pattern piece that is 3 1/2 by 5 1/2, and that's going to go on top. So if you go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead now and stick that down. Okay, so that gives you the front of your card, and you've done the inside. So all that's left to do is to do the little squares that go along the bottom. So I'm just going to put this to one side and bring in my squares. So obviously you've already got your 3 squares from your card base. So these are 2 inch by 2 inch. Then you need 3 matte squares that are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and you need 3 pattern squares that are 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead, put your patterns onto your mats, and then put your mats onto your base card. Okay, so I've got my 3 squares, got my card front, so we're ready to go into the next bit. So what you want to do is take your take one of your squares, whatever, if you want them in a particular order, then start with the one on the left. You're going to take your square, and you're going to position it so that it is straight. So it's on its angle, and the 2 points of the angle are straight, and these 2 points are straight, if you see what I mean. So they're not like that, for example. Okay, so they're actually full on straight. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to stick them at the top there onto this top section. It's not going to be stuck to the bottom, only on the top. Now, one thing I do to try and make sure that I'm getting them straight is I will use a ruler, because I've realised that my ruler is almost the height from the bottom there to that tip. So if I lay this on here, then what I can do is I can take my square. You have to make sure the bottom tip doesn't go a bit like below the line of your card, and the side tip doesn't go out from the side of your card there. Okay, so you're just going to put this on, and then just make sure it's kind of married up, so I can see that those 2 points go, the ruler goes through those 2 points, which is perfect. That doesn't go off the bottom, which is great. So I can now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to washi tape that into position, and then I'm going to turn it round and just draw on the back. In fact, actually what you can do, which might be a little bit easier, is with it in position, just make a little pencil mark at the top and just at the sides there, just underneath the actual square, so you don't see it, and then you can just go ahead and put tape on that and then stick it down. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now with this first one. Okay, so I'm just using red tape here. You want something strong. Don't go for a weak glue or a normal double-sided tape. You do need to use something that's strong. If you want to use a wet glue, then obviously like the Yoo-hoo that I normally use, or the Dovecraft Clear Craft glue. This one, let's see if I can, this one is very good craft glue, that one. Something like that that's going to really stick is what you want. Right, so let's get our square and let's position it up and then stick it down. Okay, so I'm going to leave that ruler on and we're going to go on to the right hand side now. So the right hand side, and we're going to do exactly the same thing again. We're going to make sure it doesn't pop off the bottom of your card, it doesn't pop off the right hand side of your card, and it's straight. Okay, so again, I'm just going to move this down a little bit so I can, that's better. So you can see, yeah. Right, so yeah. So you want to make sure it's, as I said, straight, it doesn't pop off either side, and when you're happy, you can go ahead and make a little mark underneath it at the top, and just to one side and to the other side. And the reason I do it slightly under is so that then you can't see the pencil marks once it's stuck down. So then again, we're going to go ahead and put our red tape on. Right, so that's your the side two done, and then all we need is one in the middle. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and stick that on flat like I did with this one, or if you want to, you can raise that middle one up a little bit. And I think on this one I am actually going to raise it up a tiny bit, so I'm just going to get some foam pads, and I'm just going to put them on this corner here, and just raise it up. You don't need to do this. If you want to, you know, post it, then obviously you don't need to raise it up, but I just feel like it might look quite cool if I raise it up. So I'm going to do that too. Just whack these on, and then you obviously need one at the top. So I've got one either side there, and I'm also going to need something at the top there as well. And I'm just going to double check that my pads don't peek out. No, they don't. That's good. Right, okay, so again, you just want to make sure that your left and right points are in line with these, your bottom doesn't drop below the card, and also that it's central. So I'm just going to put this on here like this. I'm not going to bother making any marks, but I'm just going to lay my ruler on, and yeah, that is at 3 inches. Fantastic. So I'm just going to turn it over now and peel the bits off and stick it down. Okay, so that's the square stuck down, and I actually think I prefer it with it raised up like this, because it kind of makes it, gives it a bit more dimension. Even though it's a flat card, it just makes it have a bit more dimension. And then all you need to do is find out what your greeting is going to be, work out your greeting, work out if you're going to put a topper on. For the original card, I used the decoupage pad, the Winter Wonderland decoupage pad, and I just took that out, and then I just put a little bit of glossy accents on the trees just to make them have a bit of shine. And then I used one of the greetings here. I didn't use a pattern layer on these squares, and I kind of wish I had, because I feel like it's a bit plain. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm probably not going to put much at the top. I think I'll probably put a greeting here, and then here I was thinking about having these little doves, but now I'm wondering whether I just want the one or whether I want all three, because I'm just going to have 3 on here. And I quite like 3 actually. I quite like 3. I was going to stick them together like that and give them a double wing, which I think I'm still going to do. So yeah, I've just fussy cut these out of the actual papers, and I think what I'm going to do is stick down the body onto that one below and just curl up the wings like this, so that it's got like a double wing, and then that will then stick down, one there, and one there. Okay, so I've just obviously finished putting these on. I'm just going to get a stick this greeting on, and then we're done. Obviously you could put a greeting in the middle as well. I might well add that in afterwards. I probably should have stamped it on before I stuck it down, but anyway, best laid plans and all that. I also have a pussycat rubbing up against my legs wanting food, and at the moment she's being nice. but the teeth may well come out if I don't go and feed her in a minute. So yeah, so we're going to stick this on here. I reckon about there's good, and then I'm not obstructing my polar bear. Yep, there we go. So there's the finished card. So as you can see, it's just a very nice card, very versatile. It stands up really well. So this way, you'll see it in the photos at the beginning. Stands up really nicely, and as I said, you can actually do it that way as well if you wanted to. And I actually like both. I like both ways, to be honest. But yeah, very nice. It also gave me an idea for another card, a version of this. You know me, I like to do my versions of other people's cards. So I've got another version coming up, and that should be probably next week or maybe the week after. I'm not sure, but anyway, it'll be coming up soon, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, hope you like the card. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your favourite pad is as well out of that craft haul video. Yeah, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.